My name is Joon, CEO of one of Seoul's largest tech firms, and this is the story of how I, a man buried in ambition and bound by tradition, fell for someone who taught me what it means to truly live, to love, to feel. It began on a crisp, autumn morning. My mind was consumed with quarterly reports, partnership deals, and endless meetings. The corporate lobby was a blur of muted tones and hurried footsteps, a familiar rhythm in my life of predictability. And then, she appeared in what I thought was my peripheral vision. Her dress was the brightest yellow, unlike most worn by women in the workplace, a streak of sunlight cutting through the gray. Her warm, deep brown skin glowed in the morning light. She stood at the reception desk, smiling as she spoke with the secretary, her hands animated as if painting her words into the air. Lola, as I later knew she was called, was here for an interview, a candidate for our international liaison role. But in that moment, I didn't care about titles or resumes. I was captivated. That afternoon, as I sat at the head of the interview panel, my usual stoicism firmly in place, just as the penultimate candidate exited, she entered the room, exuding a confidence that made the others on the panel sit up straighter. I noticed the faint scent of warm tones of lavender mixed with subtle sandalwood, and a hint of rose. A little heady? For me, was it just me? The distraction was rather welcome. It had been a long time since I had been held this captive. I found myself unable to look away. Her voice was rich, with an accent that carried stories of distant lands. Joon. I reminded myself focus on her answer. They were smart, insightful, and full of originality. But I found myself distracted by the way her eyes lit up when she spoke about connecting cultures. I was supposed to remain impartial, a silent observer. But she caught me off guard. Toward the end of the interview, Lola turned to me, looking me dead in the eye, her voice notes. The room chuckled, and for a moment so did I, quite foolishly like a schoolboy. I think you've handled yourself well enough without my interference. Let's see how you perform on the job. As she left the room, Lola threw one last smile over her shoulder, and that was when I found myself wanting to know more, to be, to feel.